Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. And we're going to do something different today. We're going to look at a potential new beginner strategy that doesn't take chase marketing into account. You don't have to think about the American Express ladder system, the family language. You don't have to worry about Capital One and whatever rules they may have. Don't have to worry about Citi and having good, great, whatever credit. This is going to be a system that will use up to 2 cards. Will take a little bit of time, but I'm trading away all of the madness of figuring out chase marketing, figuring out the American Express ladder, doing all of that, credits, any of that, and instituting a couple of side quests on the side. Couple caveats. One, this is not going to be a system to redeem miles. This is more on the earning side for now. 2, this system is not about travel protections. Is not going to include what card gets the best travel protections, what card gets you really not so great travel protections, what is the best like catch-all card, what is the best card for transferring to this particular partner. This is just a setup that can give you a bunch of transfer partner options and can get supercharged with Bilt, because Bilt is one of the systems I'm going to talk about here, but it does not take into account anything that could happen on your vacation, doesn't take into account primary CGW, doesn't take into account any perks of a mid-tier and up travel card. So that is not the focus of this video. With those 2 caveats aside, now a brief disclaimer. I recently joined a pair of Rove Miles related Facebook groups. I have been made a moderator of one of them. I'm going to be getting a small stipend of Rove Miles from Rove for doing that. I have no other connection to Rove. I am not sponsored by Rove. I do not have any other relationship with Rove beyond being a moderator on one of their Facebook groups. And again, I do get a small stipend for that. I don't know that I'm going to add the paid promotional thing because this is separate from that. So take this with a grain of salt if you must. But what is the strategy I'm talking about? For beginners, those who are new to credit, those who haven't had a credit card before, maybe you're restarting, don't really want to judge. But if you haven't had a credit card before and you're looking to get into credit cards and the flexibility that credit cards can give you, but you don't have a credit history, maybe you have something bad happened, you're coming out of it, don't know, not here to judge, right? Here's the thing. Folks will try to push, if you're new, just get a card, get any card. That's where we'll start. Now, the next steps may be getting into the Chase ecosystem as early as possible, getting into the Citi ecosystem as early as possible, getting into American Express as early as possible. If that is the path you so choose, depending on other videos that talk about absolute beginners, bare bones, whatever, cool. That's not what we're going to do here. We're going to turn left at Albuquerque, and we're going to look at another way to accumulate miles while you're starting out in the credit card game and learning habits in the credit card game. Here's what you'll do. If it is your first credit card, any credit card you can get at the beginning. This could be the Chase Freedom Rise, a very strong card. This for absolute beginners, 1.5% on everything, relatively easy to get with no credit history. Chase Ultimate Reward points are pretty powerful. You can use them in a bunch of different ways, whether it's cashback at 1 cent per point, whether it is redeeming in the travel portal at 1 cent per point with the Freedom Rise, whether it is using them for statement credits at 1 cent per point. Not super great, but at least statement credits are 1 cent per point and cashing out is 1 cent per point. Now, there are far more advanced things that you can do with Ultimate Reward points. If you go down the Chase path, you could, after a year, the Freedom Rise can become the Freedom Unlimited, and that gives you even more options, even more earning capability. That'll be part of this if you choose. But I'm not going to talk about the Sapphire Preferred or the Sapphire Reserve cards that can take your Ultimate Reward points and transfer them out to transfer partners at this time. But it could be that card. It could be the Capital One Quicksilver. Relatively easy card to get. You may end up getting the card for fair credit, which would be a $39 annual fee. You could get the card for good credit, which will have no annual fee, but no welcome offer. Again, not great, but you are brand new to credit. We are looking for the first card to get. We're not worrying about welcome offers yet. We're going to generate points. And you're going to learn how to generate points, but we're not worried about that yet. Could be a Discover card from Capital One, could be the Capital One Platinum card, could be the US Bank Platinum card, could be the US Bank Altitude Go Secure card, could be the US Bank Altitude Go card. It's also should be relatively easy to get. It could be an American Express card, be it the Blue Cash Everyday, which I believe is also relatively easy to get. Doesn't matter what card you get. As long as you're able to secure a card, any credit card, hopefully it's got a relatively decent opening credit line for you, although with good behavior, your credit line can increase depending on how much you're putting on the card, your ability to pay off the card in time and on time and in full. And we're always shooting for on time and in full. Life happens. I know some of these cards may also give you an opening 0% intro offer, depending on how good your credit is. If you look into a card as your first card that gives you that introductory 0% offer, cool, you can carry that balance over as long as you pay it off in full by the end of your introductory offer, but don't lean on that. The goal is always to pay off in full and on time. So as long as you're capable of doing that on time and in full, great. Because a lot of these cards, the Freedom Rise doesn't have an introductory APR. The Discover It does. Discover Chrome does. The Capital One Platinum might. Quicksilver for fair credit, Quicksilver for good credit doesn't. Don't know on the US Bank side. US Bank Platinum card has a 0% intro offer, but I digress. Your goal is to get a credit card, hopefully a card with a decent credit line. And hopefully if you're going down the Capital One path, you're not bucketed with a really bad limit. Maybe those aren't the best cards to pursue, but let's say, for instance, you go with the Chase Freedom Rise. We'll use the Freedom Rise and a Quicksilver primarily, but any card that you get with a good opening offer or with a good opening credit line is sweet. Here are the two companies I want you to sign up for. Rove Miles is basically Expedia meets Rakuten. It is capable of earning a bunch of miles on thousands of shopping websites. There's both the store portal, shopping portal, and they have an extension. They both work a little bit different. They will give you different offers, but if you add the extension, you can get better rates or maybe worse rates. You do have to compare the portal and the extension. Now, why Rove Miles? Rove will let you do your regular shopping, but give you points multiplier with Rove, which Rove is a transferable currency and a currency that you can get pretty good value on your points through Rove themselves. I've seen Hilton's and Marriott's on Rove that Rove is calculating 1.5 cent per point values on those Marriott's and Hilton's, where if you book them directly with points from Marriott and Hilton, you could be looking at 0.4 to 0.7 cents per point direct by booking those with those points directly at Marriott and Hilton. Now, is every property going to be like that? No, it's an average. Most may be better. Some may fall under. Averages out to between 0.4 and 0.7 between those two brands. Hilton's been taking a hit with reasonable redemption values through Gondola and the Frequent Miler, but we're getting a little too far off the path. Sign up for Rove. Rove will be how you book hotels. Rove will be how you book flights. Rove also has a shopping portal. The hotels that you book with Rove, you can add loyalty eligibility in time, or the other thing that they do is they pass the commission fee that they get from the hotel to you in the form of points. You could get huge multipliers just from booking hotels. You could see 25x, you could see 33, you could see up to, I've seen like as high as 62 times miles per dollar. How temporary is this? How sustainable is this? That is the big question everybody is asking with Rove. Don't know. There's another way to earn solid points on a fixed set and get loyalty recognized. We'll get 1 to 10 times points booking flights through Rove. All of these are cash bookings with the airlines. Sign up for all the airlines that you're interested in gaining miles and booking flights through. It will give you points not only with Rove, but with the airline in question. These are cash bookings after all. So Rove is the first thing that you're going to sign up for. Use Rove for the shopping sites that make sense for you. Earn your points there. Earn points on hotels that you're going to be booking, because more likely than not, any trips booked in the United States right now will feature hotels, less so flights, although flights are also a big part of travel. So give yourself that option. The other thing that you're going to sign up for, because one of your biggest expenses every month is rent. And I'd recommend that you sign up for Bilt. Bilt is another transferable currency. Bilt allows you to earn points on rent regardless of what credit card you use to pay. If you use any credit card that isn't the Bilt credit card, which you cannot currently sign up for on the date of this recording, November 16th of 2025, there will be a new Bilt card in the future, but they're putting that out in February. So if you don't have a Bilt card, any card that you use will earn 1 point per $2 spent on rent. So if you spend $2,000 a month on rent, you will earn 1,000 Bilt points with any credit card. There is a 3% processing fee. That is the cost of doing business with Bilt. That is how Bilt is primarily making money. But your Bilt points can be used to transfer to hotels and airlines. And Bilt has the largest list of airlines and hotel partners in the travel game. Bilt points are valuable, and you don't have to do a lot to earn them, but it does take some time at this point in your process. So you're going to sign up for Bilt. You're going to use your credit card to pay your rent, pay everything off on time and in full. You're going to book travel through Rove. You can do some shopping through Rove, all of that, right? You can also use Bilt's new shopping partner in Rakuten and sign up for a Rakuten account and use that credit card with Rakuten or Rove. And you sign up for the Rakuten account, you can cash out all of your cash back from Rakuten with Bilt. If you do that, it gets cashed out every quarter, but the same sort of thing applies. You shop through Rakuten, you earn your points with Rakuten every quarter. You will get those points moved over to Bilt. It's another way to grow your Bilt points without any special credit card. Any credit card works for this. Now, let's say you're doing this for a year. Your rent, you're generating 12,000 points a year with rent because you're getting 1,000 points every month based off of your $2,000 rent spend. You're buying what you buy through Rakuten. You're getting Bilt points there. Based off of the Rakuten multipliers, you go through Rove, you book some travel. You're starting to get a feel for what partners you want to start using, what hotel chains you want to start expressing loyalty to. Bilt has all of the major hotel chains as partners. Rove has relationships with all of these loyalty programs, but they don't have them as transfer partners. However, once you decide on, say, Hilton or Marriott, IHG, whoever, you can start booking loyalty eligible stays with Rove, and you select that as an option. If that hotel is part of a program that gives you that loyalty eligible option, you put in your number at the time of booking, you go to the hotel, you're going to get your hotel points, you're going to get Rove points. And if your card generates points in another ecosystem, you'll get points there as well. Another case for the Chase Freedom Rise, that could become the Chase Freedom Unlimited. If it does, you get like extra multipliers down the road. Not talking about that here. Rove eligible stays get you 5 times Rove points per dollar. Your night will count towards status with the hotel chain in question. You're going to earn with the hotel chain in question their base and member rates, bonus rates. So you're going to earn base points per dollar, bonus points per dollar. You're going to start accruing points with them directly. Your Bilt points can then get transferred to that hotel partner in time. You can start growing a nice balance with your hotel partner in this case. You can book airlines directly with Rove. You can use your Rove Miles to transfer to a number of airline partners. You can use your Bilt points to also transfer to partners. They do have some overlap with Flying Blue. Qatar is another one that they have big overlap with. And Turkish Miles and Smiles is the third one that they have big overlap with. So you get one option for Oneworld, one option for SkyTeam, one option for Star Alliance. So that can work out pretty well as well. So you've done well with this process. You're getting a feel for where you want to stay. You're getting a feel for what airline system works for you. You're building out your Rove Miles. You're building out your Bilt points. You're shopping through Rakuten from time to time. And it's been a little while. You've got pretty strong credit now because you're paying everything off on time and in full. Now here's where we can add a second card that can fully replace the card that you've been using. If this card didn't earn points before, this is going to be a card that's going to earn cash back. If you were earning Chase Ultimate Reward points, you can cash out those points into a bank account. Good on you for whatever amount of cash back you were generating. If you were doing Capital One, you can cash it out or generate a statement credit. you're in a good place, right? And if you weren't generating points, let's go get you some cash back now. The second card in this setup, which I do think is kind of secretly going to offset a lot of the no annual fee Bilt card, would be the Rakuten card. Now, this is the Rakuten card with American Express. It is issued by First Electronic Bank. It just runs on the American Express network. This card gets you 4 times points on top of whatever multiplier you have at Rakuten for up to $7,000 in spend, getting an extra 28,000 points on whatever you were spending at Rakuten anyway. And so that is one draw of the card. They have a dining network that also runs with Bilt. If you switch over to Rakuten for Rakuten dining, the exact same restaurants will generate 10% cash back, or 10 times Rakuten points, or 10 times Bilt points. Bilt will give you 3. Rakuten gives you 10. Rakuten also gets you 2 times points on general dining and 2 times points on groceries. So now your groceries, your dining gets you 2x. It's not a sexy multiplier in any way, shape, or form, but it is a generally useful one. Are pretty big categories for everyday spend, especially at the beginning. So this card can now replace whatever card you were using before as your rent card. You can still use it through Rove. You can still use it through Rakuten. It's probably going to be a lot easier with Rakuten. I've had issues with generating the Rakuten to get the payout. So whatever. So now this card can be used as your rental card as well. Remember how I said before that you get 1 point per $2 spent on rent with the Bilt card? This card gets you, the Rakuten card gets you 1 point on everything else. For no annual fee card, that you're still paying a 3% premium. If Bilt is your payout option for Rakuten points, and probably should be in the setup, now instead of half a point per dollar, you're going to be getting 0.75 points per dollar by using the Rakuten card as your rent card when paying your rent with Bilt through Bilt. So now your 12,000 points per year is going to become 18,000 points per year because you're generating an extra 6,000 points based off of all the rent, all the spend that you're already doing. Because it's 1x on the Rakuten card and it's 0.5 on the Bilt portal. So now you're effectively generating 3 points. It's a weird way to think about it, but your rent is still going to be generating points. So everything will pay out to Bilt. Now you have a strong setup of Bilt points, and you'll have your Rove points as well for those bookings. You can move your Bilt points to any hotel partner that you've decided to work with, or if you want to keep building out your member points with that particular hotel, you can book through Rove with loyalty eligible stays. This setup does not require tracking anything, right? Pay your bill is all you have to do. You will do some legwork by setting up a Bilt account. You will do some legwork by connecting your card into Bilt, connecting your card into Rakuten, and paying for things with this card through Rove. You don't have to set up any sort of like spreadsheet with when did I apply for what card. You don't have to do, I applied for a card with credits. Have I utilized those credits this month? Have I done the things that I need to do to maximize anything on these cards? You use card number 1 until such time as you may or may not add the Rakuten card. If you decide to go down the Rakuten path, you're adding a second card. And the Rakuten card would likely be a better all-around card than the card that you were using before. It's going to get you more points with Bilt on rent. It's going to get you more points on shopping that you're doing on Rakuten. It's going to get you at least 2 points per dollar on dining and groceries. And again, I'm not here to maximize everything. This is just trying to be as simple a setup as possible. And it'll generate Rove Miles for whatever travel you decide to book through Rove. Regardless, it's still going to generate Bilt points for every dollar you spent on that card because that card produces Rakuten cashback, in which you're cashing out for Bilt. So it's a constant double dip. No matter what you're doing, if you're shopping on Rove, you're still generating points with Bilt. If you're just shopping through Rakuten, you're constantly generating points with Bilt because of that relationship. Now, is this the bee's knees of travel setups? No. You're not going to get significant travel protections. You're not going to get primary CDW. You're not going to get a lot of these things until you're ready to add a premium card. You can add a premium card at any time. You can get the American Express Platinum card. You can get the Chase Sapphire Reserve card as long as you've got good enough credit. Chad from Chad's Money Minutes has mentioned, cool, here's another strategy that you can do. It's just another way to think about it without having to worry about credits, without having to worry about when do I add this annual fee card? When do I add this perks card? You can add the perks card whenever you want. You can make that perks card your only card. I'm not telling you that the Rakuten card is the one and only second card that you should add. I'm just trying to accelerate this process that I'm explaining through the Rakuten card. That second card could be any card you want it to be. Could be the perks card, could be the high-end hotel card, airline card, it could be the Gemini card for all I care. Doesn't matter what the second card is. If you're utilizing Rakuten, you're paying your rent through Bilt, and you're setting up your travel through Rove, you have a strong setup of transfer partners as long as you're generating miles, a ton of flexibility with booking the hotels that you want when you want without having to worry about, oh, do I have enough points to cover it, or am I getting a good cent per point value? You can get rid of that. It's just another way of looking at beginning the points and miles process. So, yeah, I know the pitfalls. I know what you're going to say in the comments. Trust me, I am not trying to recommend this as the be-all, end-all. I'm just trying to put out a new thought process on beginning in points and miles, where for no annual fee and at the very beginning, doesn't matter what credit card you start with, you can generate points and miles all the time. You don't have to worry about welcome offers. You don't have to worry about any of that. Just your general spend should be generating points all the time. So that's going to do it for this one. If you like what I do, hit the like and subscribe button down below. Check out the Stack Your Points podcast. We post on Wednesdays and Fridays here on YouTube. We do a live on Thursdays. We do another live that's not about credit cards on Wednesday nights. Check out the pinned comment for ways to support me outside of YouTube. I do have a Rove referral down there. That is another way that I generate points with Rove. It is not a partnership, but I do get a small stipend of points from them for moderating a Facebook group. No other relationship with Rove. And yeah, I've also got a link tree with various other credit card links, Chase, Amex, whatever. Thank you so much for your time. If you see a hype button, hit the hype button. Help me out there. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.